The scariest level of strength is the kind that doesn't need anger. Most men believe strength comes from force, from clenched fists, raised voices, a heart pounding with righteous fury. But the ancients taught a darker, deeper truth. Anger is the last mask of a weak spirit, a final shield the ego uses to hide from its own trembling. This story follows a young warrior monk named Ren, a student of Tao, whose discipline was sharp, but whose temper was sharper. When he is challenged by life's hardest trials, betrayal, humiliation, loss, he discovers that everything he believed about strength was only the first doorway. His journey leads him to an old hermit of the mountains, Master Jinsei, who teaches a terrifying wisdom. To fight with anger is easy. To fight with calm is difficult. To win without fighting, that is mastery beyond the reach of most men. What follows is a parable of silence, presence, and inner alchemy. A path where fear becomes a teacher, ego becomes an enemy, and the spirit learns to move without resistance. The scariest warriors are not the loud ones, not the violent ones, not the ones who burn with rage. The scariest warriors are the ones who stand fully calm as storms rage around them. Chapter 1. The boy who mistook anger for strength. In the cold breath of dawn, where the mist still clung to the stone courtyard of the mountain monastery, a circle of novices gathered. Their robes fluttered in the gentle wind like restless spirits. In the center stood Ren, young, sharp-eyed, shoulders tense with a fire he mistook for power. Opposite him, another novice bowed in formal salute. Ren did not bow back. The bell rang. The duel began. What followed was not technique, not presence, not discipline. It was force, raw, reckless, untempered. Ren lunged forward with a shout, feet pounding the earth, fists driving with the reckless commitment of a boy who believed intensity alone was strength. His opponent tried to deflect, to breathe, to find rhythm, but Ren's fury broke rhythm itself. Each strike came faster, heavier, hot with the kind of emotion that blinds more than it guides. A final shove, a final cry, a cloud of dust, and the opponent fell. Victory. The novices roared with approval. Some whispered, impressed. Some stared in awe at Ren's speed, his aggression, his burning spirit. Ren's chest heaved not from exhaustion, but from pride swelling inside him like a storm. But when he looked to the elders seated along the stone veranda, there was no applause, no nod of approval, only stern faces, quiet eyes, and a silence that weighed heavier than any blow. Ren tried to ignore it. He tried to bask in the praise of his peers. He tried to believe the warmth rising in his chest was triumph, but beneath that warmth, something hollow pulsed too, a seed of doubt, a crack in the armor. That night, as lanterns flickered in the dim hallways, Ren wandered near the elder chambers. Their voices drifted through the wooden doors, soft, grave, measured. "He fights like a wildfire," one whispered. "Uncontrolled," said another. "His anger is not strength, it is fear wearing armor." Ren froze. The words struck harder than any punch he had thrown. Fear? Armor? Him? He felt heat rising in his throat, not the heat of power, but of shame. He backed away from the door, stepped out into the cold night air, and let the wind sting his face. The mountains towered overhead, dark and heavy like ancient judges. The stars watched in silence, as if waiting for him to recognize the truth. He was not strong. He was reactive. He was not disciplined. He was volatile. His victory was not earned. It was seized through emotional chaos. Even modern psychology confirms what ancient masters knew. Anger hijacks the mind, floods the body with adrenaline, narrows perception and forces instinct to override awareness. It is not strength, it is survival mode. And a warrior in survival mode cannot see clearly enough to master himself. Ren felt the truth beating against his ribs. His power had cracks. His spirit had noise. His strength had no center. And for the first time, he wondered, if anger is not strength, then what is? Cold winds swept through the courtyard, extinguishing the lantern beside him, and the darkness felt like an invitation. Chapter 2, The Humiliation. The morning of the ceremony arrived with sharp clarity, the kind of light that exposes everything a man tries to hide. Villagers, monks, travelers, and wandering seekers gathered in the monastery courtyard. Incense curled into the crisp air. Drums sounded slow and steady, echoing across the stone steps like the heartbeat of the mountain itself. Ren stood among the novices, jaw tight, fists clenched at his sleeves. He had barely slept. The elders' whispered judgment still rang in his skull, fear wearing armor. He tried to bury it beneath pride. Today's ceremony was sacred, a day when wandering warriors could challenge the monastery's students to test their progress. Victories brought honor, losses brought lessons. Ren wanted the first and feared the second. Then the crowd parted. A lone swordsman stepped forward. No armor, no rank, no banner, only a simple traveler's cloak and a wooden training sword at his hip. The man bowed to the elders with unhurried grace. His presence was quiet, so quiet it unsettled Ren. Anger rose in Ren's chest like a reflex. Who is he to appear so calm, so sure? The elders looked to the novices. Who will face the traveler first? Before thought could intervene, Ren stepped forward. A murmur rippled through the spectators. The traveler bowed. Ren did not. The duel began. Ren launched forward with predictable heat, attempting to overpower the stranger with the same aggressive flurry he used against the novices. But the traveler moved like mist around a blade, effortless, unforced, as though he had long ago forgotten what it felt like to hurry. Ren struck, missed, struck again, missed again. Each dodge was quiet, each step precise, each movement an insult without words. Ren felt heat climbing his spine. He's mocking me. Fight back. Stop moving like a ghost and fight back. His breath grew ragged. His strikes grew sloppy. The swordsman's expression did not change. No irritation, no excitement, no fear, only presence. Ren lunged with everything he had, and the traveler simply shifted his weight, barely a gesture, and tapped Ren's chest with a wooden sword. A killing blow in a real fight. Ren froze. The world froze with him. The traveler stepped back. It is done. But Ren's ego screamed louder than the truth. He attacked again, wild, desperate, humiliated. His strike was fueled entirely by emotion. The traveler sighed softly, sidestepped once more, and tapped Ren on the back between his shoulders. Ren stumbled. The crowd gasped. A child laughed. Heat flooded Ren's cheeks hotter than any flame. The traveler spoke, not loudly, not cruelly, just truthfully. Real strength does not shout. The words pierced deeper than the blows. Ren's breath collapsed. His knees nearly buckled. He felt naked, stripped of the armor of anger, the illusion of power, the story he told himself about strength. The courtyard blurred. The murmurs swelled. His spirit shrank. He walked away before anyone could stop him, past the novices, past the elders who watched with knowing eyes, past the monastery gates altogether. He did not look back, because if he did, he feared he would shatter. The wind hit him as he stepped onto the forest path. cold, unforgiving, awakening. Ren had lost a duel, but more painfully. He had lost the illusion of who he believed he was, and somewhere deep within a question stirred. If this is not strength, where does true strength live? Chapter 3, The Mountain of Silence. Ren wandered for days. The monastery faded behind him, swallowed by pines and mist. He walked until his pride wore thin, until the sting of humiliation turned into a dull ache. The ache a man feels when he finally stops running from others and starts running from himself. The forest grew denser, the air colder, the path narrower. Roots coiled across the ground like ancient veins, pulsing with stories older than any monastery ritual. Ren's mind seethed. He embarrassed me. He exposed me. He made me look weak. Each thought ignited another flicker of anger, and each flicker reminded him why he lost. Anger was easy. Humility was not. By the fourth day, Ren's steps slowed. His breath steamed in the mountain chill. Hunger gnawed at his stomach. His robe was torn from branches, his hair tangled. Pride scattered behind him like footprints he no longer wished to trace. But then he saw it. A small hermitage perched on a cliffside. Wooden beams darkened by age, lanterns unlit yet unmarred, surrounded by wind-bent bamboo that whispered like monks in prayer. Ren stopped. The world stilled. Something ancient lived here. Something older than his anger. Something deeper than his confusion. Before he could call out, a voice drifted from the porch. You carry too much noise for such a quiet mountain. Ren's hand flew to the hilt of his wooden practice blade. An old man sat cross-legged beneath the roof, a simple tea bowl resting before him. His hair was silver, tied loosely. His robe was the color of earth. His face carried no threat, only serenity. Who are you? Ren demanded, breath tight. The old man smiled faintly. A man who once carried the same noise you do. A hermit, some say. A fool, others say, but I am Yunsei. Ren hesitated. I didn't come here seeking anything. Yunsei tilted his head. No one climbs this mountain unless they are seeking something. Ren opened his mouth to deny, to defend, to deflect, but the old man raised a finger. Sit. Ren blinked. What? Sit, Junsei repeated, tapping the wooden floor beside him. No duel, no questions, no words, just sit. Ren felt irritation spike. I don't have time for... Then you have already lost more than you think. The phrase froze Ren mid-sentence. Something in Yunsei's tone, calm, absolute, ancient, stripped away resistance. Ren sat, not gracefully, not willingly, but something deeper than pride pushed him to obey. Junsei closed his eyes. Now breathe. Ren crossed his arms. I am breathing. No, Junsei said softly. You are reacting. Try breathing instead. Ren exhaled sharply through his nose. Silence stretched. Wind rolled through bamboo. A crow cawed somewhere in the distance. The hermitage seemed to hold its breath. Ren lasted 27 seconds. Thoughts erupted. Images of humiliation. Echoes of the swordsman's calm face. Flashes of the elder's whispering. His leg twitched, his jaw clenched, his eyes snapped open. This is pointless, Ren muttered, rising to his feet. Yunsei took a slow sip of tea before answering. The mind of anger is the mind that cannot sit still. Ren felt the truth like a blade sliding silently beneath his ribs. You carry fire, Junsei said gently, but you do not yet know how to hold it. The mountain wind swept between them, cold and honest. Ren lowered his gaze, not defeated, but disarmed. For the first time, someone saw through the armor. For the first time, Ren felt seen without being judged. And for the first time, he wondered if silence might be stronger than anger. Chapter 4: The Parable of the Empty Cup. The next morning arrived with a cold, crystalline stillness, the kind that makes every sound sharper, every breath more honest. Ren awoke on the wooden floor of Yunsei's hermitage, stiff from the night, mind already stirring with questions he did not want to face. Junsei was nowhere in sight. Only the faint aroma of boiling herbs drifted from behind the bamboo screen. Ren stepped outside, rubbing his shoulders. Mist curled off the cliffside, drifting like pale spirits toward the valley below. The mountain was silent, too silent. Silence made Ren restless. It left him alone with himself, and that was the opponent he feared most. Junsei's voice broke the quiet. "Come." Ren followed the sound to a small stone bench overlooking a ravine. Junsei sat there holding a cracked clay cup. Its surface was chipped, its rim uneven, its body marked by age and use. "Today," Junsei said, "you learn what truly holds strength." Ren frowned. "A cup." Junsei smiled without looking up. "Sit." Ren did. Junsei lifted the cup and poured clear water from a bamboo flask. The water filled only halfway before it began leaking through the crack, dripping steadily onto the stone. Ren watched, confused, impatient. Junsei turned the cup in his hand. "This cup," he said quietly, "is you." Ren's jaw tightened. "I'm not broken." "No," Junsei replied, "you are leaking." The words hit Ren harder than the swordsman's strikes ever had. Junsei continued, voice calm but unyielding. "You fill yourself with effort, with anger, with force. But when pressure rises, when life shakes you, your energy spills out. Look." He shook the cup gently. Water streamed down the cracks. Ren felt his chest heat with defensiveness. "I am strong because I feel strongly. Anger gives me power." Junsei looked at him with eyes that saw through decades of men and their illusions. Anger is borrowed strength. It rises fast and drains faster. He poured more water. It leaked again. Presence is owned strength, silent, contained, unshakable. Ren's breath wavered. Junsei set the cup down. "In Taoic internal discipline," he said, we do not train the strike first, we train the vessel. An unsteady spirit cannot hold real strength. Even the ancients taught, the strongest tree is the one that sways yet does not break. Ren muttered, "I don't want to be a tree. I want to be a warrior." Yunsei chuckled, then learned stillness. The tree survives storms that swords do not. He rose and walked toward a patch of flat earth near the bamboo grove. "Stand here." Ren obeyed. Junsei circled him slowly like a sculptor studying uncut stone. "Your stance is wide, but your breath is narrow. Your body is stable, but your mind is brittle. Your fists are ready, but your spirit trembles." Ren swallowed hard. He wanted to deny it. He couldn't. Junsei positioned him with gentle taps on his shoulders, his spine, his hips. Again, the hermit said, "You are the cup." Ren exhaled. "What must I do, master?" Junsei's voice dropped into the stillness like a stone into deep water. "First, stop leaking." He stepped back and pointed to the earth. "Now you will practice the ancient system of stilling the water, the system older than swords, older than monasteries. It begins with the discipline men avoid the most." Ren steadied himself. Junsei spoke the word like a commandment. Presence. The wind hushed. The mountain listened. Ren felt the path beneath him shift. Chapter 5, Training Without Striking. Ren woke before sunrise, expecting sword drills, footwork patterns, or perhaps the beginning of an ancient striking form. Junsei had other plans. The hermit placed a dull axe in Ren's hands. Not a sword, not even a staff. An axe. "Woodpile?" Junsei said, pointing toward a mound of logs nearly as tall as Ren. "That can't be training," Ren muttered. Junsei didn't respond. He didn't need to. Ren walked to the pile, frustration rising. He swung wildly at the first log, splitting it with more anger than precision. Chips flew. His hands burned. Sweat rose quickly despite the morning cold. Junsei watched from the porch, sipping tea. Again, Ren chopped and chopped and chopped. With every swing, his breath grew jagged. His shoulders tightened. His mind erupted into complaint. "This is beneath me. This is pointless. I should be learning sword work, strength, technique, not this." Junsei's voice drifted across the clearing. "Listen to yourself." Ren froze mid-swing. "You came here to learn strength without anger," Junsei said. "Yet every time discomfort appears, you feed the fire inside you." Ren gritted his teeth. "I'm not angry." Junsei tilted his head. "Your breath says otherwise. Your stance says otherwise. Your face says otherwise." Ren looked down. His grip on the axe was white-knuckled. Junsei approached slowly. "Training begins where ego ends," he said. "As long as you believe you deserve something more worthy than this, you cannot learn." Ren swallowed. Hard. The words pierced truth. Junsei left him to the woodpile. Hours later, Ren staggered to the stream to gather water. Junsei handed him 2 wooden buckets, each heavier than the last time. Ren's legs trembled under the weight as he climbed the slope back to the hermitage. By midday, his body felt carved from exhaustion. His mind ran wild with resistance. Why isn't he teaching me combat? Why won't he show me the techniques he knows? Why is he wasting my time? Junsei answered without Ren speaking. "You think striking requires power," he said. "But any man can hit, even a drunk can hit. Even a frightened animal can strike when cornered." He pointed to the buckets. "Show me you can carry strength, not spill it." Ren set the buckets down, panting. Junsei continued. "In Taoic practice, we do not rush toward mastery. We create the man who can receive mastery. The vessel must be stable before the water can be deep." Ren stared at him, breath shaking. Junsei gestured toward the meditation rock. "Sit," Ren groaned. "Again?" "This time," Junsei said, "sit with your exhaustion, not against it." Ren lowered himself onto the stone, muscles trembling, breath hot with resentment. Junsei sat beside him, posture calm as a mountain. "Your body is honest," Junsei said. "It tells you when to rest, when to push, when to break. Your mind lies. It tells you that discomfort is failure." Ren's breath slowed. The ache in his shoulders throbbed. His ego screamed at the simplicity of this training, at the humiliation in chopping wood when he wanted to learn the Taoic arts of effortless power. But beneath the noise, something quieter began to stir. A small space inside him, an emptying. The first crack in the prison of self-importance. Junsei noticed. "Good," he thought. "Now the boy begins to see."